remarkable story about the band. You know them, Imagine Dragons, which has millions of fans all around the world. An encounter with one fan in their early years has had such a powerful grip on them for nearly a decade now. Jamie Yuccas joined the band to learn how an unforgettable teenager helped spur an invaluable mission. As part of our series, we call it A More Perfect Union, which aims to show that what unites us as Americans is far greater than what divides us.
Before their mega success, Imagine Dragons was hustling for recognition in small clubs like LA's Viper Room.
Smells the same. I love it.
The year was 2012. It's Time would become Imagine Dragons' debut single.
Now don't you understand that I'm never changing who I am?
The lyrics were influenced by Dan Reynolds' lifelong struggle with depression. And while the song introduced the band to the world, it touched the very soul of a young fan.
When we were a small, unsigned act, there was a boy in the audience that was a super fan that was raised on his brother's shoulders, who had no hair because of chemo, was skin and bones, was really in the middle of cancer.
That super fan was 16-year-old Tyler Robinson, fighting stage 4 cancer. His brother Jesse actually snuck Tyler out of the hospital to take him to see his favorite band.
I told him, Mom and Dad are going to come down on me hard. So you have to back me up if we're doing this. And he's like, I got it, we're doing this. We did what we always did. We stole my dad's car and just went and listened to music.
Jesse had sent the group a Facebook message asking them to sing It's Time for Tyler, explaining the song has been his fighting theme through chemo.
That moment when their heads touch and they're singing to each other, screaming at the top of their lungs. I'll never forget that moment, ever, as long as I live.
I never felt any emotion like that. I even felt incredibly spiritual. And going home, it was like an amazing thing to share with my family. And we didn't get in trouble.
A friendship was born that night. And as the band began to catch fire, Dan would text Tyler to share the joy.
He was just there to enjoy the music, but his attitude towards life was so inspiring. And I can honestly say from that moment, I have been changed.
The band dedicated their next single, Demons, to Tyler. The video has now been viewed nearly 1 billion times. But in 2013, the cancer returned and attacked Tyler's brain.
Dan called me. He had just gotten some terrible news about Tyler and just was so distraught. And we cried together and thought that Tyler's legacy has to live on.
Shortly after his death, the band reached out to Tyler's parents about launching the Tyler Robinson Foundation. Its mission? Helping families bear the emotional and financial burden of children fighting cancer.
I always thought, okay, good people care about their children, great people care about other people's children. That's unbelievable that someone cares that much.
And I know it's hard when you're falling down and it's a long way up when you hit the ground, but get up now.
This year's fundraiser in Las Vegas brought in more than $2.5 million.
And there's nothing that grounds you quicker and reminds you of what matters than when you see a kid who is yet to get to experience all the things that you have that has been given a cancer diagnosis.
It's a diagnosis for the whole family. Seeing the kids that we're able to help and everything they go through, it's the most meaningful thing that we've been able to do. Sorry?
I'm appreciating that you're just being as open as you are with your feelings.
If I could hold it back, I would. Believe me.
Whatever it takes.
The nonprofit has already provided support to some 2,000 families, including 8-year-old Jory Bonners.
What have they helped you with?
Rental assistance, groceries, Christmas. It's been a big blessing.
The family was on the verge of eviction because Jovi left his job to take his son for treatments. Now, this tough little guy is battling brain cancer again.
Each time it comes back, it's just a little bit more damaging for us because we know time is not on our side.
I'm running out of time. Is this really my life?
For the band, the event is always an emotional night.
people have to derive meaning in a lot of different ways. And I feel like that's one thing that we know for a fact. We're making a difference. We're doing something powerful and important.
We love you, Tyler, wherever you are. Thank you for all that you continue to share with us. You inspire us.
Reynolds was inspired to pledge a $50,000 donation if a guest was willing to sing the band's huge hit. 12-year-old Cooper Sandoval picked up the mic and brought down the house.
That's $50,000 voice right there.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Jamie Yuccas in Las Vegas.
Love that.
Radioactive indeed. I've been following Imagine Dragons since they first came out, and just when you think you couldn't love them more, there they go. I love what Ben McKee said when he said, if I could hold it back, I would. Don't hold it back, Ben.
Yeah.
Dan Reynolds,
Cooper,
Wayne,
let it fly on that stage.
Yes.
I see you wrote down the same thing I wrote down. Good people care about their own kids.
Yes.
Great people care about
other
others.
people's kids.
Man,
I wrote that down, too,
because
because I thought I want to remember that.
It's true. We should all remember that. That's for sure.
Yes.
What a story. All right.
Thank you,
now,
Jamie.
That's right.